Yeah, it was. Which I don't know. ABR, apart from Stephen Kodjafo, if you are trying to have a friend Zando, say, okay, Miami boss as I be there, or joy. And all love.
Let's say all US.
Yes, all love FM and all joy.
Okay.
On his hand. Omu pe any nipa minim so me Roma for Ghana. Minim so only mobile Romania. Minim Romanisti bia.
Okay.
Above Zando krono onye Romanisti angaza. Onu Mourinho na ko on wedi nachi. To onye Romani.
Why you no disciples ni bi no?
Aha, Mourinho disciples. Onu Mourinho bam United ni. It is a uti here. Whether on radio, on Facebook, especially if you're on radio, do what you come on Facebook. Na bra commenting. Na my who say we Romani. Because and now Roman Lukaku ko pie me o Rome no. Nima bebresi.
Okay.
A lot of things have happened.
Just Roma for it, you know.
And that's why make I say me Roma for na Ghana no. Almost no perspective.
Okay.
Because Juventus for no. Say Gabi be story no. The Juventinians were loud. Said they don't want him in the northern part of Italy. International Milan for us. They also came out and said, we're ghosting him. So they also don't have anything to do with him again. Same for AC Milan. They did not even think about Romelu Lukaku. Alright, if you look at how this transfer was done, in some way, Roma for owner. Manutd King. He is a pilot by profession. Which, some plane where I want to say Romelu Lukaku SCF Frimono. The plane was flown by Roma for owner, deputy vice president. On any two ni plane, private jet, straight from Rome, flew over Zurich to London. Before that, no sporting director Thiago Pinto was in London since Friday to get this deal done. Because not Roma for so the 4.5 million back for loan deal no. Almost Chelsea into a part on the salary. Chelsea said they'll be into a part on the salary. If you want Romelu Lukaku, either you're buying him outright or a dry loan, then you're taking all of his salary. Roma for went back to Todd Bowley and they still almost said, we want to take him on. But we have issues with FFP. So what we can do is that speak to Romelu Lukaku. Let us see if he can reduce his salary. Then he can come to Roma. They said, okay, fine. We can speak to Romelu Lukaku. He may reduce his salary, but you absorb everything. Since Friday, they want this transfer to get Romelu Lukaku. Now, Roma for now, things have not gone well for them in terms of the striking department. They allowed the Felix Afinajan to go. Once Felix Afinajan left, the onus was on Tammy Abraham and then Andrea Belotti. When Belotti came, he has not lived up to the billing per the Romanistas. In that Europa League final against Sevilla, Tammy Abraham got injured. Once Abraham got injured, the team was loose, empty, no outlet. Up till now, Tammy Abraham with ACL, he's not going to play for a very long time. So the plan was to get a top striker who can give them what they can give them. Now watch the players on matter. Omoto Leandro Paredes, Omode Renato Sanchez Ababekam, and now they've added Romelu Lukaku. But the Romanistas were so happy, which to the extent say, in the city center of Rome, baby at Dybala Villino, there's a big mural of Romelu Lukaku in there. In life, they see you baby. If you are not loved somewhere, definitely you can be a king somewhere. Romelu Lukaku has found home again in Italy, but this time in the middle belt of Italy, Rome, and the Romanisti for are excited to have him. This is the vice president of Roma, and he flew that plane to make sure that Romelu Lukaku ever will do Rome on him in one piece. But I think that the job was done by their sporting director, Thiago Pinto. He did all the job, staying in London, liaising between the two, talking to Romelu Lukaku, the other option for Lukaku was Saudi Arabia. And I was so sure that Chelsea wanted to wait till the tail end of the season. No much chance that Romelu Lukaku, they can push him to go to Saudi Arabia. But I didn't come to that. Lukaku will come back to Italy, and this time for Roma. It's a good job done by AS Roma and Jose Mourinho. Mourinho worked it. Romelu Lukaku, when he was at Manchester United, rumor for vice president, the pilot.
Wow.
Ryan Fleck was in the US Air Force Base, was part of them. Top pilots, but flew his own private jet to go and get Romelu Lukaku straight into Rome. You see, Roma Fono are in some form of rejuvenation. Uche International Milan. If you watch at AC Milan, if you look at Juventus, almost every club around Roma are strengthening. They are not able to strengthen. After the Europa League final, Mourinho was very, very clear and verbatim to them, said he expects them to do more. He expects them to make sure they go into the markets and get players for him. They've gotten a few for Jose Mourinho. We'll see how the Italian Serie A will go for AS Roma. But as it stands now, Romelu Lukaku, you're not Romanisti for any.
Yeah, how do Yaro? I think or Italy.
Okay.
And I also show no. And or Chem the reason why here not Juve fans there's all pet Romelu Lukaku no.
Let's hear from him.
I say Lukaku insulted Juve supporters during the Coppa Italia match between Inter Milan and Juventus.
My ever substance I can carry your car. Romelu Lukaku scored in that game.
Okay.
He was racially abused by Juve for ultras.
Okay.
Then he scored again. So Kaya. A celebration now, and that's what the Juve fans had issues with. The FIGC did not punish Juventus. Maybe they wanted to even punish Juventus and what's not. So yeah, that's why they didn't want him. I think they're correct by a large extent.
Okay.
Richardo, you see, let me crave your indulgence on this subject matter.
I am a farmer.
No, I want you to give it to me.
Okay.
Because
you
and I have analyzed players uncountable. Bebre Feli, Bebre Fa. In the case of Cucurella, Richard, and yet Cucurella we are now Pep Guardiola Penono.
Yeah.
The same Pep Cucurella who was at Getafe, brilliant player in the Spanish league, and before he came to Brighton and Hove Albion. Unim. If you go back last season and you read every article that Manutd put out about Cucurella up to now, there's one particular phrase that Manutd using. Ose Cucurella was having a serious family time issues with him. Up to now, they have not been able to say it out. In fact, in his first interview for Chelsea TV, first question Bisano was about the issues of having within the family. A lot of the rumors have been so you're corroborating the Bushian for issues with Neire and all of those things. Nobody has the exact thing that happened to Cucurella. I managed DP forms. Obekaya, one of the things Graham Potter alluded to most of the times at Chelsea, when he was asked about Cucurella, he said, oh, people go through things in life. It's our job as coaches to protect them. Into another protecting the player. Last season, it's a fact. It was a tough time for Cucurella. Any OB about Chelsea. There was no player at Chelsea last season who could say on Pesa season. Everybody was a bad player. Cucurella inclusive. Kepa is a balaga. Even Thiago Silva, who was a top player, standout performer, and fact. But Rich, to be very honest with you, Cucurella is not a bad player. Cucurella, he is not a bad player. And for me, say Mokari situation number one. The first option you will look out for is a cheap option. And most of the times, loan options, they can't say are cheap options now. If you look at the list of players that Manchester United are looking out for in terms of this position at left back, especially since Luke Shaw is out, you cannot go and play the young Alexander at fullback. You can't go and play Aaron Wan-Bissaka at fullback. None of your players will give you what he gives you at fullback. Left fullback, I mean. All the fullbacks in the world. And they are English in so also Pobia, sir, yeah, progressive ball with the back three, all of the things that we see. Oh, but 4-3-3. Now, so I'll say, okay, Pobia with my a left center back. So that, let's say, Aaron Wan-Bissaka will push up. Then you have three CBs at the back. Your left center back will be that guy. Cucurella can play there for Manchester United. You receive ball no has an outline center back under Thomas Tuchel. That was the main position that he was playing at the beginning of the season. Extra center back. So team ni push on anymore. Unim, near Chelsea ni. I would love Cucurella to stay for one reason. Say, yes, fullback and inverting Ben Fiifi-Manfred to come and influence the game. I saw it a couple of times in preseason where he will invert into the middle of the park, receive the ball, and play those line-breaking passes. He is a very, very good player from out wide. He has had issues. But Cucurella essentially is one of the players that you can get on Manchester United team with that will take you a notch higher, especially in build-up. So I can have ball over so ball in terms of playing out from the back, getting an extra centre back, extra man in almost every zone to receive the ball and play forward. Cucurella fits it. Last season was a bad time for him. Which sometimes you don't have good days. Sometimes even prolonged to weeks. You ask yourself questions, what is going on? But Cucurella rejuvenated. AC kind of mode by general. And I'm in Chelsea for Yard. Say 2 million is too small, Richard. 2 million. That's only 16 million. Maybe you say
a season penny.
And would be 8 and 9 crab.
Okay.
The Chelsea form of Cucurella, everybody agrees.
Okay.
But you also agree with me, say the Brighton form of Cucurella that made Tuchel, any Pep Guardiola wanted to get him in their teams now was something that is best. Same for the form at Getafe. If he went to Chelsea, not multiple reports, they say he went through a bad time with the personal life. Any Chelsea pro narrate, you know, the Chelsea team in itself was soulless for a very long time. Chelsea team was soulless for a very long time. So you don't even use that Chelsea one season to justify Cucurella. Again, anytime Benjamin Chilwell was fit, he seemed to have started over Cucurella. So what was even a game time for Cucurella over there? He's not a bad player. Given the circumstance of needing a player for a short term, if Manchester, the northern part of England, ever straight to London, Omobina still was more a meeting. They had to break protocol and miss them. Still won't go to your motors with 2 million chief. Now look at Cucurella, man, because Cucurella 18 million. More than a code here. Quite apart from how good Cucurella is, for me, he is one of the best left backs that you can get, given the situation I've seen, given a very good condition Manchester United. I tweeted the last time, I'll say it again, say he fits perfectly the build-up Manchester United. An unpopular opinion. And these days, football is a lot more about trolls and what's not. We don't get to say those things. But the truth of the matter is, Cucurella will fit Manchester United very well. And with good things, you see how good he is. Now, it won some part in me. Chelsea was the most expensive goalkeeper. Oh, yes. Kepa Arrizabalaga, or Infa, or loan.
Real Madrid.
Yes. Chelsea was the most expensive centre forward. Romelu Lukaku, or Infa. He is on loan to AS Roma. Chelsea again, was the most expensive left back in the world. Cucurella, going on loan again. Speaks two things about the club. Say, the few months of Todd Boehly era, especially given Todd Boehly did not buy Lukaku and then Kepa Arrizabalaga. That purchase seems to have shown over time say it has not been good. And if you add Cucurella to it, it's bad. We at Chelsea now, say, why are Chelsea letting these people go? They want to be ruthless in letting the most expensive players, and the players on very high wages go in terms of squad building. It's a player and he's not ready to calm down and then play with the young boys and build up. They would want to get them off their books, and that's the situation of Chelsea Football Club. And talking about that, Chelsea, this is the amount of money that Chelsea are making with respect to players that have gone out, and I think it's good money. If you look at how much Chelsea are making, Rich, in terms of wages, yesterday I was trying to talk about that to you.
Emmanuel Jamal, I say sometimes some players fail in certain clubs but excel in another. He can perform at Manchester United, though he's not performing in Chelsea.
Yeah. I think for some of us, that's our general perspective.
Of course.
It's about say Massa, and that's your worry. So it's a gamble for Manchester United. But given some of the things he has done,
he made smart,
how many games? How many
games? More game, baby. But I can't
we play Chelsea.
Then no ball Chelsea.
No, now last season we played for a long time of the season.
Okay.
I say Messi want to come to Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. No, I should go. No, how cruel you tease Chelsea fans here.
And then come on.
Rich. Remember Lukaku?
Okay.
Lukaku was on a wage bill of 375. I told you at the beginning of the season. say one of the things that Todd Bowley in the call for want to do at Chelsea is have a performance hinged wage structure. You don't have the bigger wages because you are the most expensive player. They buy the player, amortize the sum of the purchase of the player. Then they make sure say, well, salary now, it is hinged on the club's general performance and your personal performances. Done in almost every institution across the world, meaning every company. If you do all, you get more. So that you make sure say you optimize performance. Lukaku was taking 375, Richard. In N'Golo Kante was the second highest paid player at Chelsea. 300,000. Khalid Koulibaly 290. Kai Havertz 200. Aspilicueta 180. Cucurella 175 if he goes. Aubameyang 160. Kepa 170. Pulisic 150. Ruben Loftus-Cheek 120. Ziyech 100. Kovac is 100. Mount 80. Mendy 55. Wages a rough estimate essentially general, but what Chelsea are seeking to get is a 2.5 million in wages. One transfer window. Chelsea are getting all of these monies off their books. This was the plan for them. See, it me pushes SK win there for your books as well. Now you fan say now Chelsea definitely will not give Mihailo Modric up to 375. Chelsea will not give Noni Madueke more than 150 million. Chelsea will not give what's his name? Lavia more than these monies. Even Moses Caicedo. The highest probably you will go will be Kai Havertz's 200. It is going to be one of the lowest wage bills for English Premier League. What that means is that you have a low wage bill, you don't spend too much over every week in, week out. Then at the end of the day, even if you don't qualify for the Champions League, you are financially soluble, then you don't have any issues behind your home. And that's like the plan Chelsea have had all season. Now, Miriam, you spoke about the all-famous Chelsea's choice for.
Yeah. And now, I promise you, for audio mobile film. Our players are more prominent.
Yesterday, there was a breaking news. Say, Ansumani Fati. Yesterday in a conversation of Yamin Lawal, Fati came up. Say, oh, he was a good player, and then Fati, now we are hyping him again. Fati came up. Say, the agency, have proposed him to Torian was Chelsea. Say, oh, yeah, this is a moped, wide creators, make creative from outside. So they will come in centrally, come and play good football, dictate the pace of the game, and do what's not for you. Good dribbler. It's Omo Pushinama. And now again, see na me catch up. Apparently, all the sporting directors, co-sporting directors, Wayne Stanley, Stewart, Joe Shields, Todd Bowley, Baghdad, the body were all at Cuba. In a crunch meeting with Mauricio Pochettino, the plan is simple. Let us make sure say your last and final push for an attacker who will be perfect or near perfect. Because you don't want to go and get a player last minute and you have issues on deadline day. Now, we are Chelsea. I want you to listen to me. If from now to the end of tomorrow, you have not heard that any player is doing his medicals at Chelsea, Chelsea won't buy a player by Friday. From now, in fact, by the close of today, to make money on China. If Chelsea are not done getting a player, Chelsea will not buy a player by the end of the transfer window. And the reason is simple. Chelsea will not want to rush the attacker into the team. And then Chelsea will game against Wimbledon, El Carabao Cup. Pochettino was asked about what he makes of that game. Also, we saw a winning game behind, inclusive of that game. And they're starting it. Now, Ansumani Fati was proposed to Chelsea. Chelsea said no, they're not interested in Ansumani Fati because of the injury issues in recent times. So, Ansumani has had some injury-laden career for the last few months, and Chelsea want to stay away from him. Right apart from that, another player of João Felix. Felix possibly could go to Barcelona. So either of Ansumani Fati, Rafinha, or any of the attackers leave again, or Barca can trigger him and get him on loan again. It's a possibility that's still lingering. But quite apart from that, Chelsea are still thinking, last season we bought loan, man, Chelsea. Now, only the reason why Chelsea have not gotten João Felix back into the team, they say, when Frank Lampard left Chelsea and was going, he wrote a handing over note to Mauricio Pochettino, or whoever the next coach would have been at the time. Say, one, and this thing Ayala usually says it, about a midfielder that will do the DM job and protect the back line. Apart from that, in that dossier, he mentioned João Felix. So Felix is not the kind of player that he thinks will help Chelsea going forward. The attitude off the ball. He's not interested in anything off the ball. And for a player who a long time under El Chobo, you expect more from him. So Chelsea as it stands now, Pochettino wants to go with Nia Lampard catcher. he is still thinking, say, maybe they may want to change their mind on Abrantia, your friend Joao Felix. But essentially, he's a player that is on Chelsea's radar. They will not. Someone can go find him there. Then it's because of what Lampard did tell Chelsea Football Club about the attitude of Joao Felix. Yesterday, I told you about Rafinha. I told a lot of Chelsea fans, you can have your own displeasure about Rafinha. Say he left Chelsea to go for Barcelona. But if you want a wide creator, somebody that can create from outward, 1v1 threat, and be very direct. You see, me, one of the things I'm here very excited about Rafinha, and off the ball attitude. So defensively good without the ball. Let's track back to come and help the team. He does it so well. Finally, I hear this boy that will shock almost everybody. Chelsea may go in.
But where Jamal Musiala the Manutd. How on earth? And at this Manutd team, every just such a great player, Jamal Musiala, was I young? Come on, Bam.
But it's Thomas Tuchel is their coach.
I know. But on Jamal Musiala matches that.
If Thomas Tuchel is their coach, I will not be sure.
So I catch your bias on Jamal Musiala.
When I saw this story, I asked myself, why will Bayern do this? Because Thomas Tuchel is their coach. Immediately, Jamal